Yes, sir.
On the radio, the governor said that almost everyone who applies for a carry permit gets a permit. It was something like 95%. And I know a lot of people, myself included, who wouldn't go through the process to apply because you would be denied
Absolutely.
for self-defense. Do the state police, I know people who've had this happen, they basically tip you off that you're not going to get approved. Why would you apply? Don't try it if it's just going to be for self-defense. Is that something in your experience that people get told?
So your question is about the governor's office had an interview, I believe it was on C4 radio show not too long ago, that said that 95% of the people that apply for a Maryland State Police or a Maryland State handgun permit are approved. So it gives you a 5% denial rate. Well, I'm not going skiing today because there's no snow, right? I know that that may be a horrible analogy, but the basic fact is when you're spending $75 for a fee, $250 for a training, and then you're taking 6 months for the application process, plus you have to buy another $50 for fingerprints. If you've talked to everybody, including the law enforcement in your area, who say, no, you're not going to get approved, why would you apply? So to boast that there's a 95% approval rate is rather a false narrative. I think that that's some poor advice that he may have gotten, and I'll just make it clear, I like our governor. I think he's a great leader. I think on this issue he's receiving some horrible advice and making some very bad decisions, and that he needs to act on this. But to say that that only 5% are denied is actually false, and someone needs to clarify that. The state police certainly should have clarified him because I'm sure he was schooled by them before that. So, again, that's not being honest with him. You need to tell our governor, I think he got bad information. You need to be honest with him. We have about 14,000 active permits in Maryland, total. They do about 5,000 a year. Most of those are law enforcement, correction officers, or retired law enforcement. You know, and now you're getting a few business owners to get those permits.
Virginia has 365,000.
Well, the important part of that, there's about somewhere between 12 and 14 million permit holders in the country, in the United States. A study has shown us that less than 0.06% of those are ever arrested for a crime involving a firearm. You know what that rate is for police officers? 0.07%. It's just slightly higher than law-abiding permit holders. We've already had the test studies done to show us that 12 to 14 million permit holders are law-abiding citizens, and they don't increase the risk. In fact, where permit holders increase, crime goes down. So, I mean, you got to look at it reasonably.